Xaxis is the audience buying business of Group M. So we specialize in working with data and technology to help our agencies, which is obviously Mindshare, Mediacom, MEC and Maxis, target and reach and engage with audiences at scale. Actually, DMExco is essential for us. It's probably, I think it's one of the best industry events there are. Everyone's here. A lot of our role is really to engage with a very wide variety of the ecosystem, whether that be publishers, technology companies, data businesses, but also our own agencies and clients. And I think there's really only one event globally where they're literally all in the same place at the same time, and also completely focused on what we do. There's a lot of events where they're there, but there's a lot of distractions, there's a lot of other stuff going on. And I think this event is special because it's completely focused on the industry, and everyone's here and everyone's talking business, and it's a really, really useful event for us, definitely.
So let's talk a little bit about Europe versus sort of the US and where the markets are in regards to maturing, the amount of money flowing through programmatic. Can you just give us a snapshot of where we are at a point in time and then talk to where we're going to be in 24 months?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. I mean, I think it's generally understood that the US is a pioneer in a lot of these things, and then they come over to Europe, especially the UK first because it's English speaking, so they tend to pick up on the trends very quickly. There's usually a lag time, 6 to 12 months before these trends come to Europe. But I think what people miss sometimes is that it's not just a transposition of what happened in the US. We often do learn from what happened in the US and we change it and adapt it and often avoid some of the mistakes that have become, or that are more inevitable, I suppose, in the US as a first mover. So for example, I think the way that publishers have engaged with the programmatic space has been much more careful in Europe, much more considered. They've thought about it much more, and therefore they've managed to keep more of the value within their own businesses, whereas I think in the US that's more of a challenge. Also on the demand side, the way that the agencies and the clients are engaging with programmatic is a little bit more considered, it's a little bit more careful, whether that's from a brand safety point of view, or whether that's from an effectiveness point of view, performance, all those things. I think it's just more understanding exactly what role it can play and is best played within a media environment, rather than just rushing headlong into it because it's just new and there. And what that's meant is I think the adoption's been more slow in Europe. It's definitely not uniform across the region. There are some markets that have been much more quick in adopting it than others. And some of those are surprising. France, who you might have thought would be a very slow adopter on this, has actually been a very fast adopter of RTB and programmatic technology, whereas Germany, with its more entrenched publisher structures and sales houses, has maybe been a bit slower to move. I think it's just going to continue to grow. I think it's proven that it has a role to play in terms of effectiveness and efficiency. We obviously work with programmatic platforms a lot, but we also work with publishers directly rather than just buying through programmatic platforms. So for us, it's very important, given that we have very premium advertisers, to maintain a premium environment with publishers.